are my fourth graders, is that right?
Yeah.
All right, so we've seen most of you guys before and probably more than once. You guys know the basics, right? Who do we call an emergency?
Firefighter.
What's our phone number?
911.
911. For any emergency, right? That's for fires, police, ambulance. You get whoever you need, okay? And if your house catches on fire, you're going to get out and
Run.
stay out. Get out, stay out.
And close your door.
And close your door on the way out.
Happy dance, you got out safe.
Yes, and all of your stuff is safe because you closed the door, right? Maybe, maybe not. So what it talked about, it did say close your door because it stops the fire from spreading a little bit. Because fire, it has to have air to grow. So when you close that door, or if you have your door closed in your bedroom, it keeps it from coming in there because it can block it a little bit. And then it keeps it from spreading where it already is.
You want to know one other way to prevent that?
Prevent what?
Fire. But what about the windows? Closer to the woods. Couldn't no one's gonna. Because 5 seconds later, the Russians already.
Well, most people don't light their houses on fire on purpose. Yes. Yes.
So it'd be very take care of it before the fire gets to you. Until the firefighters come, you could pour water on it.
Maybe if it's not too big already.
Yeah.
But if it's big, we're going to get out and stay out. And does everyone have their safe meeting place? Yeah. Okay, so some of you guys looked a little confused. So the safe meeting place is where if something happens, that's where everybody in your family is going to go. And it can be in the yard, it can be at the neighbor's house, it can be at the mailbox, the car, wherever it is, but everybody knows where it is and it's the same place so that when everybody gets there, if someone's missing, they know to go look for them, okay? So if you don't have that, that's your homework today. Go home, talk to your family about where your safe meeting place is going to be. Also, along those lines, everyone have an exit drill, a plan for an emergency if something happens. That's something else. If you guys don't have that, I want you to go home and talk to your parents about that. If you've got a bedroom window in your bedroom, and that might be the way you have to get out, or if you need to open the window and yell, you need to know how to open that window. So you can do that. So if you don't already know how to do that, that's something you guys need to talk to your parents about, okay? Are you up high? So what you might do, if your room is up high and you can't get out, open your window and just yell. Yell out the window. When someone gets there, people who are already outside will hear you. When we get there, we'll hear you. And you guys know that if you're inside and you can't get out, don't hide. That's right. That's what I was going to say. Sit against the wall, under the window, close to the door, because that's where we're going to be looking. We're going to come in and go along the wall until we find you and get you out. So when you hear us come in, Caden's going to show you when we go outside. He's going to put his gear on, have his air pack on, his mask. He's going to yell so that you guys know what it sounds like, and you're going to tell that it's hard to hear. He's going to be all muffled. It's going to be hard to understand. But know that when he comes in there, or me, or Bradley, or whoever comes to save you, that's why we're there. So we need to know where you are. So when you hear us come in, we need to hear you. We need to hear you yelling, waving your hands, something to let us know where you are. Yes?
What if the windows are open in the different rooms? Like if someone goes in the bedroom and the window in that room, would the air go in and it would make the fire bigger?
Yes, absolutely it would.
So it should also say close the windows.
Yeah. A lot of people don't open their windows these days because everybody has air conditioning and heat. So a lot of people don't do that. That's why they say that, but that is a good idea. But you're also going to be, yes, but you're going to be in a hurry, so you're not going to want to go around and close all your windows. But you've got to be safe. So if you can do that, if you have time, that's a good idea. If not, just get out, okay?
I have one. I have an exit plan.
You do? That's great.
I'm on the second. My room is on the second story of my house,
Mm-hmm.
and if it catches on fire at night, I could just go into my closet and get my ladder, and then throw it down to the gravel because there's a little place I could.
You have a
just
fire
jump
escape
on.
ladder? That's great.
And my sister's like just one room away from me, so I could just grab her and then get out. But also,
Yes.
I know.
Okay. Yes, ma'am? You did? Everybody get out okay? Awesome. Yes. A what? Oh, yeah, that happens. So, that's not a good idea, huh? That's good. That could have been bad, huh? All right, guys, so we're going to go outside. We have 2 different fire trucks today. We have a fire engine that we use on big fires, house fires, and we have a rescue vehicle, which we use for smaller fires and other types of calls, because we don't just do house fires. We don't just put out fires. We also, we do medical calls. We ride with ambulances, and we do rescue calls like car wrecks, or if someone wrecks their 4-wheeler and falls off the side of the mountain, we can get them with ropes and stuff. So we've got a lot of different things that we can do. We'll show you when we get out there.
Here is seeing someone wear fire gear before. Most of us, right? Okay. Sometimes we can sound scary like Darth Vader, or a monster coming through the house, because we have this air tank and this mask on which muffles our voice, and we look really scary with all this stuff on, and it's a scary event. But we don't want you to hide from us. We want you to, whenever we yell or make noise to try and find you, you need to yell at us or make noise so we'll be able to hear you and come get you, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all my gear on. I'm going to show you what I look like, okay? Start by putting this on, which protects our neck and our face.
See how he has his boots down in his pants? That's so he can put them on quickly like that, because we have to go. And the jacket has these little things that protect your wrists too, so even when you put your gloves on, you don't have that little gap there to get soot and ashes in there. In that tank is just breathing air, just like we're breathing right now. It's just compressed in that tank so he can have it when it's smoky in there, so he doesn't breathe hot air, or it's toxic, the smoke is. Alright, so that little thing hanging down there is called a regulator. That's what takes the air from the pack to the mask so that he can breathe. It's also what makes him sound like Darth Vader. Because right now you can't really hear him breathing like you would with that. Huh? Oh, yeah. So this also, since he did that, it has really cool features on it. So that noise, that's called a pass device. And that is in case something happens to Caden. See now how much louder it is when he breathes? If something happens to Caden, he can push a button on his chest there to set off an alarm so that we'll be able to find him. So if he gets stuck, if something falls on him and he's trapped, or if he just gets lost and he doesn't know where he is, he can set off his alarm and we can come find him. And also, if he stands still for too long, it'll start going off, because say something happens and he gets knocked unconscious and he can't move and he can't push his button. If he stays still, it'll go off for him. It starts going off and it gets louder and louder and louder. So we said we're going to come in and we're looking for you. We're not playing hide and seek, right? We're playing find you, get you out where you're safe. So Caden's going to come in, he's going to yell at you.
Is there anyone in here?
It's not very loud, is it? So when you hear him, even if you don't know what he's saying, you still know what he's there for, okay? So we need you guys to yell back and say, hey, hey, I'm over here, right? All right, you want to practice? Yeah? Go for it.
Hey, is there anyone in here?
All right, so nobody's hiding. Everybody's going to be ready to get out of the smoke-filled house on fire, right? Yeah. Okay, good. All right, do you guys have any questions about any of the gear he's wearing? Yes.
Like, will it catch on fire?
Not, it shouldn't, no.
Yeah, it could, but it...
I mean, you would have to be really hanging out in the fire. Yes.
Most likely it probably... Is that good?
It's not too bad. It's a little heavy with the air pack and everything that you're wearing.
It's like having an
Yeah, it's kind of like that. And we carry tools and stuff when we go in too. So we've got all this, the air pack and our tools. Yep, we have an axe and a Halligan tool. They go together. A Halligan tool.
It's like what you use.
It's like a, yeah, it's like a pry bar, and it's got a pick head and a adze on it. Yeah. He watches Chicago Fire.
Oh, okay.
All right, you guys have any more questions about his gear or what we wear? Yes. How does it work? Well, the jacket and the coat, the jacket and the pants, they have thermal protection, just the material that's in there, and it's a few layers, and it's got a waterproof layer in there so that when you sweat, it doesn't come out and make steam, if that makes sense. So that protects us that way. And then there's a special chemical in the hoods and stuff that helps keep your ears from getting burned.
Do y'all use like some type of spray? Because I remembered a YouTuber told me that y'all like sometimes use a spray that you put on your coat to make it not burn.
No.
You're thinking of the flame retardant spray we spray on our curtains here at school.
Oh, yeah.
They come in and spray the flame retardant spray.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
what
ma'am.
he's thinking.
On like the mask thing that helps you breathe.
Uh-huh.
Like, is the front part where you can see out of, can that like burn?
If it gets too hot, yeah. But we don't like to be in the fire either. So we want to be in there as little as possible. So we come in to make sure that there's nobody in there, and then we put the fire out and we get out. So we're not going to be hanging out dancing in the flames or anything. So anything else? All right, well, we will talk about the trucks then. So this is the fire engine. We have a lot of water on here. We've got 1,500 gallons of water. And we can also hook to a hydrant. So we have big hoses. Those are the hoses that we use to put water on the fire. So they're quite a bit bigger than your garden hose that you have at home. We've got ladders if we need to get on the roof. This one up here, this hose is called, it's a hard suction. So if we don't have a hydrant or another water source, we can take a swimming pool, a pond, a lake, a creek, and we can put that in there and we can get water to put the fire out with that. Where Caden is, that's the pump panel. That's where we control all of the pump functions to get the water from where it is to where it needs to be. This one's a little lackluster. There's not a whole lot on it. We've got chainsaw and a K-saw. We use those to breach walls, doors, anything we need to, roofs. In here we have extra tanks for our air packs. Because we use a lot. You know how when you exercise, when you run and when you're outside playing and you start huffing and puffing because you're using a lot of air? Well, it's the same way when you're firefighting. It's a lot of work. So we go through one of those pretty quickly, so we have extras. In here, there's just a really big hose. This comes from the fire hydrant to the truck. And then this is called a ground monitor, and it's just a lot of water. So we can put that on the ground, and it's kind of like
You search for water.
a what?
You search for water?
No, water comes out of this like a hose, only a lot bigger, like what comes out of the end of a ladder truck. Have you seen that, how much water comes out of that? It's really big like that. All right, you guys want to get up and we'll walk around to the other side? We've got lots of tools in here. These are tools that we use just for random, I mean, it's a sledgehammer, whatever you would need to break with a sledgehammer. This is a pike pole. We can use that to poke a hole in the ceiling to see if there's fire up above the ceiling. And we have our medical equipment in this compartment also.
It looks like the thing that you poke fire with in the stove.
It is kind of like that, yeah. We have a lot of air packs because it takes a lot of people to fight a fire, so we have enough for everybody. Caden has a thermal imaging camera. This is really cool. So it shows heat signatures, and you can see, he'll come through and show you guys what it looks like. You can see things based on the temperature. So if someone is sleeping and didn't wake up and couldn't get out of the fire and they're just laying there, they can't yell at us or anything, so we'll be able to take this camera and we can find them in there. Also, if we don't know where a fire is, if someone's house is just full of smoke but there's no flames, we can take this sometimes and find out where the heat's coming from. Is it working? Oh.
I got 90. I got 50. No, you
All right, so
don't.
these are called hose appliances. It's just stuff that we attach to our hose to make the water do what we want it to do. So we have a lot of extra nozzles, different kinds.
Is it like bigger? It's just like a bigger hose.
Well, it just depends on how you want your water to move. So like this is just it's called a straight stream. And this makes a fog pattern, so it kind of goes out. So just depends on how you want it. And we have big flashlights. So see, we have different sizes.
The bigger the opening, of course, the more water is going to come out. The smaller the opening, the tighter the stream will be on it.
And then these right here are called spanners and wrenches. This is what we use to put our hose together. So I don't know if you can't really see it up there. Yeah, because the couplings where it goes together, they have these little grooves on them and you catch them with these. So, oh yeah, like this. It's So we use those so we can get them tight enough. All right, that's about all that's on this truck. We'll go over to the rescue truck and look on it. I think it has the coolest stuff. So we have a lot of rope in here. Remember I said we can rescue people? We have a lot of people wreck on their four-wheelers on Windrock, so sometimes they're way down on the hill and we have to use our rope systems to get them. We have stuff in here for car accidents. These are called airbags. So see, they're flat and they're square right now, but we can take these and put them underneath a car and put air in there, and it puffs up like a pillow and it picks the car up off the ground. So it's pretty neat. And then these are for shoring, but that's not interesting. This is just medical equipment. It's just a bag.
Is it that bag they put over? It's all for no.
No, it's just a bag full of medical equipment. You're cold? This is also not very interesting. It's wood. So this wood it's put together so that it can, we stabilize vehicles with it. So sometimes if a car wrecks and it lands on its side or it lands on its top, we use these to put underneath it to make sure that it doesn't rock back and forth while we're trying to work on it. So it makes it stable. So this truck we can put out small fires with this because there's a little bit of water in there, about 250 gallons-ish, 300 gallons. And this is just the pump. It's like that one over there on the big truck. It's inside and you can't see it, but this one's on the outside so you can see it. And here's the nozzle for the hose. And you guys probably have these, hopefully, in your kitchen, so you know what those are. Use it on the ground?
This is what people refer to as the jaws of life or the hydraulic spreaders. It's made where we can put it in a seam in the car, turn this, and it'll actually spread your door apart and spread it away. That way we can make an opening and get you out.
That's the jaws of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hold that up again so these kids over here can see it. That's what they get you out.
So we have spreaders and we have cutters. So like he said, that one can spread things apart like doors. This one can cut through the metal. So if you're in a car accident and it squishes your door and we can't just open it by pulling the handle, we can use the spreaders or the cutters to get in there and get you out. Those are also really loud and really scary because they pop and creak and they're cutting the metal and the metal's bending and it's just making noises and it might break windows. So it might be a little scary because you're already scared. You've had a car accident.
Well, what about the car?
We don't worry about the car. If it's yeah.
You buy us a new one?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Your car? That's why you have car insurance.
I've kind of had a car accident.
Yeah. So Caden is showing them, it's just a chainsaw up there and a little sawzall.
Guys.
We also have something called the hydraulic ram. Just like the spreaders, it spreads stuff apart, except it's got a longer reach, and it's basically, I can take this and move the dash of your car up away from your legs so we can get you out. That's the main purpose of this tool. We also have an assortment of different sizes and lengths of chain. And we also have kitty litter. The reason we have kitty litter on our rescue truck is because whenever you get in a car wreck or anything like that happens on the roadway, a lot of times you're going to spill out oil or gas or something like that. And we use this stuff and we just pour it down onto it and it soaks all that up. It makes it easier to clean up. That way the next time cars come through there after we open up the road, they don't wreck again and we're right back out there. And then we also have these are what we put on the car in the door to push off of if we can't make a purchase. Does anybody have any questions about either trucks or anything about fire safety?